Okay. All right. It's working, so we're ready. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our January meeting of Highway Parks Community Program. I need a motion to accept the minutes from our December 4th meeting, please.
Motion.
Motion and a second, please.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not opposed. All right. Our minutes are approved. Thank you. We're going to change the order here a little bit. Linda's got something going on early this morning, so we're going to start with Linda and the seniors program first. Go ahead, Linda.
Trying to be brief. So we finished the year strong in December, and I'm sorry, it's not in January. So, which is all good. That's all good news. I have a bunch of information for you guys and stuff to leave behind, but the holiday dinner went extraordinarily well. Turk Tavern is probably one of the nicest groups to work with. And our customers, our members, raved about it. So they were very, very happy. We had over 30 people. The Nutcracker, everybody did that trip. We had a full bus. Everybody was thrilled. And also really well. Paul thrilled for that. So he was our sub. Again, everyone being totally grateful for that. We had a beautiful presentation by our seniors, which is a message for us, for all of us, really. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. And then Monday and Tuesday was just off to the races. People were coming in. We have new members. We have new residents. We have a lot of, it's just all the first of the year paperwork. So we started chugging through that. So it's all good news. January is packed. February is packed too. So I'm just you can go online. Everybody can check out our usual schedule as far as exercise and so on and so forth. But I'm going to just hit a couple of highlights and point out that because of the way the holidays fell this year, our Alzheimer's Association is going to be Friday the 9th. So that's this Friday instead of last Friday, which is typically the first Friday of the month. We also have an ECD class today, which is Read, Write, Stretch with Arissa. It's 11:30 to 12:30. So if anybody's interested, come on down. It's they received a grant on our behalf, so it was free. We have Chris from Medicare is coming in next week, which is very timely and very helpful. So he can answer a lot of questions for a lot of people. So we love having him. He's got a lot of energy and he does a great job with the seniors. So SAS workshop. This is our first one on Saturday the 17th, and it's oil painting with Sandra. Come on in for that. It's 10:30 to 2:30. There is a fee for that. Let me see. So we were approached by someone from one of the local banks, and she wanted to talk about fraud protection. And there's been so many stories, and we had a member of our very own who shockingly it happened, and it's just a perfect example of how quickly, how easily it can happen to any one of us. So we have a woman coming in at 10:30 on the 27th. It's Tuesday the 27th. And she's talking about it from the bank perspective about fraud protection. And I think it's going to be really useful information. And we encourage people to, if you ever, the biggest way that they get people is they panic them. They alarm them to a degree where everything goes out the window. And all that caution or all those things that you've been told prior. So the best thing you can do is always go to your local branch, talk to your local teller, a human being in person. And I think when you do that, it will help a lot. So that's that. And then we have a woman coming in at 12 noon on that day, that same day, the 27th, and she's going to do iPhone and Android photo class. A lot of people want to know how to use their camera and how to enhance their photos a little bit better. So that's on tap. And then the 29th, we rescheduled the sound bath meditation. So on the upper level, she's going to come in and do a presentation of course, which is really helpful. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. So that's the big stuff for January. We have our book club today. The new book list is out. Our new exercise is out for the first quarter. And we also, on February 7th, we're already starting to tease an art day challenge. It's 10:30 to 12:30. and it's kind of like, music, it's like musical chairs with art. So every 2 minutes you swap canvases and you just kind of go around and, the one rule of the paintings is that they must be flower themed. And the supplies, there's gonna be a ton of supplies that will be already made available. So you can bring a lunch and enjoy February 7th, 10:30 to 12:30. So, so a couple of things the boring business end, but nonetheless, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Um, on October, in October, we raised our lunch price to $5.50. And that has halved our numbers. So the program was, the orders are half of what they used to be. It's just, they can't tolerate it. So, another $1.50 will likely kill it. It just won't be a lunch program. So, that's why grants and donations are key for us. And we are, well aware, and we've been trying to educate, people on the cost differential for people who are resident versus non-resident. And this is a perfect time to do that because we are at the beginning of the year. So memberships are all coming in and being renewed. So we have this membership reminder and we're working on that. We also put together, for full transparency, language and a disclaimer or just a notification and disclaimer for everybody so that they are aware, so that there are any questions, because this affects all of our programming. So it's not just lunch, but it's also art and it's also exercise or anything that we do really. So I'm going to leave these here for you guys so that you can, approve. I think it's pretty benign. So, so that's that. We do have checks from Colette and Broken In, which will hopefully subsidize the first quarter, until we hear from other sources. We do have a couple of letters out. Times are tough. I'm not really sure what's going to come back from that. So I will leave that. This is from Colette, and I think the Broken In is still yet to come. So
Linda, did you reach out to MVP at all? Yes.
we're reaching, those are the two. So MVP and CDPHP, which have a lot of, they take a lot of.
I don't know how far you'll get with CDPHP since we changed.
Right.
Over, but MVP certainly seemed open to.
Yeah, and thank you for that because they're top of our list. So, but it's interesting because even like St. Peter's and MVP and CDPHP, they are so interested in the exercise. They want to be in front of everybody. So our hope is that, hopefully they'll.
I think they do that so
They'll
they can get them to get reinsurance for,
Sure.
Medicaid being
Yeah,
whatever.
puts them in a good light.
So
Yeah.
even
It
though
still
we're not
gets
with
their
them, they
name
might.
out, even though we
Right.
might not be,
Right.
town might not be subscribers. 2026 memberships are coming in and coming in quick. So I also want to note too, that, we've gone through our member list and it should be noted and everybody should feel really confident about the fact that the actual number of non-residents is really, really. And one of my compatriots here also pointed out that, or asked the question, of those handful of people that might not be residents, are they Schenectady County residents? And the answer is yes, they are. So there's that too. So we are watching it and we have put things into place, which should be a non-issue. Should you ever have questions or anything, then check. We received a grant we applied for and received a grant from a local church. It's Eastern Parkway United Methodist. They do this every year. They put this out to people and the deadline was October. You have to be very specific about what it is you're asking for and how it will be used. And then it goes in and they vote on it. So we have a check here. I attached the actual application because in the application is the details on the actual unit that needs to be ordered. And then we have to show proof that we ordered it.
Right. I don't understand what you're saying.
So we applied for the grant.
Okay.
And we asked for an air purifier. For the
got
lower
it.
level.
Uh,
And so all of I copied everything here for you. So like everything, I just can't place the order because of the non-exempt. So
Got it.
if you have any questions, just let me know.
Good.
So perfect. Thank you. And then lastly, our members had some really kind words for us prior to the holidays. They told us that, and I take this as a collective we, because, you know, we are doing this with the face of the town. But they said to us that, they thanked us for creating an environment where we can shine a light on one another, that we've been able to build friendships and community, and hopefully that they'll be able to continue to do that. Because remaining social, it's one of the important factors of aging well. And they are very, very appreciative, and they are really a phenomenal group of people.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So, thank you, everybody, for letting us do that.
Can you forward those notes to Julie so that way it makes it easier
I
for her
will.
to cut
I
and
will.
paste it?
I've
Yeah.
already got her on my
Thank you.
list. So yes, thank you. And then this, so, you know, so I'll make copies and leave them. I didn't have time to do it prior. This is our quarterly newsletter, and it did go out. We kept it light and fun. So, and we tried to just make sure that we were keeping our message and all of our information consistent and full transparency, blah, blah, blah. So if you have any questions or anything, please shout. Awesome. Okay.
So getting back to the fraud situation, Linda told me about that, and I've talked to her about that. The chief goes down there and has coffee with the seniors once a month pretty regularly, and make sure that anybody like that fills out a report, because our department has had success with some of those situations. So we just want to make everybody aware of that. Really we should put something on the website though.
We do. We'll blast. We blast. So we do all of our marketing, and Edie is, the three of us put the message together, and then Edie she takes the reins and she makes sure that this all gets out. So we have a lot of different vehicles with which to communicate, and that will absolutely. And we try not to. We understand we don't want to compete because there's a lot of town messaging that has to go out. So a lot of times we do it just to our senior. There's two groups on email. There's our senior group, and then there's townwide. And maybe once a month we might say, hey, could you send this townwide? It's important. So we may do that.
Yeah.
We may ask for that this time.
But this
That's okay.
particular instance, the person lost over $10,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, can we
And
have,
it was really.
what about the police department website kind of pushing it too?
Yeah,
Kind
sure.
of PD push it out, because I feel like that's better as a widespread message, because even if it's somebody that can help a senior to say like, hey, hold on, let's
Right.
take a look at it again.
Yeah, they get them just because they make them feel that this is such an emergency, and if you tell anybody, it's going to go sideways, and that's the exact opposite of what you should do. So you really need to reach out to someone for us. And a lot of times, a lot of these banks are really looking for it now. So
Could you videotape that and maybe put it as a link on your webpage?
Yeah,
Just as,
sure.
you could always point somebody. in
Yeah,
that
that's a great
direction.
idea.
These are the ones that we know about. Sometimes it happens
No, I
to
know.
people and they
They're
feel
embarrassed.
embarrassed.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they don't want to talk about it.
She's
So
a
she
super,
shared
super,
these things with
smart person, and
Linda,
really
but-
took her forward.
too often. We don't hear about it.
And we're gonna we'll blast it townwide. So
Most common fraud story I've heard about is they call about your granddaughter or grandson are in jail. They need immediate $5,000 for bail.
Mm.
And
Yep.
it's a family member. I take advantage of that. It's sad. They use social media, they get personal information.
Well,
Exactly.
with AI,
Yeah,
with AI, it's getting worse now because it's really difficult to tell a bad email, or, you know, a lot of it comes from Microsoft, a lot of it comes from like these well-known companies, and
Yeah.
and then they, you know, and they scare you. So, and this was actually, this came through the computer, and it looked to be from Microsoft, and she did what she thought was prudent, and the next thing you know, they got in just, you know, all it takes is for you to like crack the door, and they're in, and then they have everything. So it was that fast. So fortunately, eventually she got to the bank. She went to her local branch, and they helped her.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything
All right.
else?
No,
All right.
thank you guys for letting me butt the line today.
Thank you.
And
All right.
Happy New Year. And
Ray doesn't mind one bit. No?
Bye, guys. Bye.
All right.
See you later.
Bye. Can I take the dog for you?
Janet's got him.
Okay, Ray.
All right, so for highway crews, our normal resident request patching the roads, basin repairs, small drainage projects. Lately with the amount of snow we've been after the storms and with the rains coming behind it, we've been sending 2-member teams out cleaning catch basins on corners, checking our backyard stream cages so that in the event that the snow melts and, we don't get flooded intersections. So the investment in that is well worth the results we get. A lot of catch basins are quite a ways off the road. Obviously can't get to them with the plow, so they go and shovel them out and try to alleviate any problems like that. We, obviously with the weather, the guys been out a lot on the weekends. Over the holidays, they were out. Keep in mind, even a 2-inch storm requires the same amount of product, same amount of manpower as a 1-foot storm. So,
These little clippers are
that
just,
they're nuisance, but
you gotta
on
go out.
on our end, they're exactly the same as a big storm. So, they have been out. So there've been a lot of time put in, a lot of material been put on the road. We've been using a 50-50 salt sand mix because with the rainy weather, we like to have a heavy material on the road so that you get the residual from it. And hopefully in the beginning of next storm, you get a little bit of traction and some stuff on the bottom. So, again, the guys that put in a lot of work and we appreciate their time and, they're missing holidays and stuff like that. So they definitely been doing a great job.
We appreciate everything they've been doing because they have been doing a good job. And
Yeah.
been out a lot.
Yeah. Number 2, parks crews been working in various parks, cutting brush. Currently they've been working in River Road Park, some stuff along the bike path, and again this year, like we have in the past, we'll be trying to mow back some of the stuff that is encroached on the bike path, to keep the edges green and keep the brush and stuff from growing out into the path, becoming obstruction, and just be able to keep our bike path nice and green on the edges, and for people that walk it, there's not blind spots and stuff like that. So it's just routine. Uh, Can't figure it out, but once you cut the brush, it seems to grow back twice as fast. But um, plenty to do, and as well, the parks guys are out when we're out, taking care of the facilities, town hall, police department, rec center. So they as well have been out as much as the highway guys have and doing maintenance, shoveling sidewalks. Um, it,
No, I'm sorry. This is Rita. She was trying to get into the meeting, but we didn't set it up as so I was gonna put her on speakerphone if that's okay with everybody.
I didn't say that was fine.
We don't usually have ours as a virtual, only Laura's meetings are, but Rita usually attends virtually. And so I wanted to just no, you wouldn't have known that because I didn't tell you that. So I just wanted to put her on speaker in case she has an update, just so she can listen.
does she want to speak? Do you want me to hold up?
Good morning, Rita.
Rita, can you hear us?
morning.
Good morning. Ray is in the middle of his highway, and then I was gonna have Lori go and then maybe have you do a little update after Lori, if that's okay.
No, go ahead. I'll just listen.
Okay, great.
All right. So for equipment purchases, these are things that we talked about for budgeting for 2026. We often try to get off and running on these first thing to try to avoid any increases and get them as close as we can to what we submitted. Obviously, we start in August and September trying to get pricing for 2026 items. So we always put a little bit of increase in there, but we never know. So we want to try to stay as close to those numbers as we were. those two items, are attached. We were able to, eliminate one item from the purchase thing by buying it in 25 with proceeds from the stuff that we had auctioned off. So Aaron, helped me facilitate that, and we made that happen to save in the 26 budget. Number 3 is highway equipment purchase, roadside mower. That is also was in the budget. And I don't have that as we're still working on that quote for
Oh,
that.
I was gonna say, that's the one that's like pricey.
That's just parks. So the highway mower is,
That's the one with the arm on the side.
yep,
Like,
still,
okay.
still to come. We're working on that quote and, hopefully have that before the end of the month. Number 4, town hall, still reviewing quotes for cleaning mitigation areas identified in town hall. I think Kara is heading up, we're having an analysis on the ductwork and,
It's already been said.
okay,
This
thank you.
morning, so
Thank you.
I'll say it.
So we'll look at that. So this, you know, we've been talking about this a while. There may be a way to do it in stages. That is the correct way. So we don't want to do one thing and impact another. So we're looking at the quotes. We're going to come up with a plan as to what we can do in sequences for the cost that it's going to cost us. So, you know, you don't want to disturb things in the attic and then infect the ductwork, vice versa. So, you know, we have experts on the outside giving us quotes and actually with a little bit of information as to why they're quoting us. So it's information for us that would be help us identify and understand the processes that we're doing. So we'll all, as usual, Bill, I know you're very into this and been reviewing quotes and stuff and had questions, and rightfully so. So we'll continue with this process until we get it done. Number 5, Christmas tree pickup. There's a flyer attached here to the back.
I had a question. I know it says no yard waste, but my Christmas tree was really big and I wanted to cut all the branches off.
You can do that. Yard
Okay.
waste is considered leaves and all the stuff that was left over. Yeah, if you have, you know, if it's to get out of the house and just set the branches on top of it, we will pick it up.
I have to move it myself or else I think my husband do it.
So the flyer normally is just a block print with pretty plain and simple. Courtney was kind enough to upgrade our flyer to actually make it so that you will look at it and read it rather than just
That's a key
block
piece.
print and, you know.
I do have residents reaching out. I know it says no yard waste pickup, but I guess their question is, and I think you guys do this anyway, but I just want to make sure I'm clear on it. I assume that once we kind of are clear of snow and ice, then there's some sort of like spring pickup of leaves when it dries out a little. So what do we do with the folks that left them out and then it snowed?
They have to bag
Just
them
wait.
and
Oh,
can
bag them. So
Yeah.
bagging picks up again. When does
in
that start?
April.
April.
So then it goes back to the regular standard. We never do a spring vacuum. We never do
What's the leaf pickup? When does that start?
April-ish.
Oh, it is. Okay, so it's all at the same
Yard
time.
And then we're right back to standard bag or cans. You know,
We do pick it up in the spring. It's just late spring.
April's not
loose
really
Yard
late.
waste, so it's
Well, that's what I'm
yard
saying.
waste.
No
Loose
loose.
leaf is not until the fall. Is that what you're saying?
until the fall
Got it.
again. Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
And I think as we get closer to April, we're going to have Courtney make a flyer explaining that, pretty,
Even now, because the people think, oh, if it rains and the snow's gone, you're gonna come around, pick it up.
Trust
And I'm
me.
like, everything's switched over.
hey, for every phone call you got, we got 20. So we know.
But at least you guys know the answers. And I'm like, oh, good for you on that. Okay,
So we'll make up more of it informational because false narrative will put us in a bad position and, you know, we can only do so much. Spring starts off our everything, our roadside cleanups, our paving, our, so.
I feel like we should just be telling people, if you have late falling trees, bag them. Like,
Yeah.
We do tell them.
yeah,
And-
I mean,
and-
I don't know how else to get that word out, because I have late falling trees too, and even the guys that do my yard will put it out, but like, it doesn't always get picked up because, you know, so I just.
And I
don't know.
think, you know,
Send out the schedule when the pickups are.
rather than just a
Weather
block,
dependent.
I think this has been very helpful to us with the more prominent
Yeah,
wording and explanations, and it definitely helps, so.
she's sending out the yard waste billing. Could we put something together for like the back of it that just sort of explains, these are the blocks of times, and we don't go outside of those blocks of times?
Can probably come
Right?
up.
Okay,
and-
that way it's at
That
least
makes
clear.
And I
it's
mean,
like,
in all fairness, we made every effort to.
oh, I know you guys
we-
do.
we
It was
were
just
out
the
at
timing.
night.
You're
It was dark.
at the mercy of the
There
weather.
wasn't a
so-
possibility for any more effort to be made as far as we were working till dark. We were working weekends
I know,
straight through.
I-
And
and it's.
quite
trust
honestly,
me, I know it's expensive,
we're,
so I'm
well,
like,
not
we have to
only
cut it off
that, I
somewhere.
mean, we're out in the pouring rain. We don't take the day off because it's raining. Them guys endure a lot. It's labor to do that, swinging that tube all day, raking those leaves.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I
Walking
watched it.
5-6 miles while raking.
Yeah, I mean, they literally, if you look at, they're walking every mile of every road in the town.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a lot of work, and we do our best, and, you know,
No, you do.
We're-
I just want to make
we're-
sure the information's out there. That way they at least have something to reference.
you know, we're sorry that the weather changes, and I mean, but I have heard some stuff, you know, winter came early. Well, beginning of December, mid-December is not early. You actually got a blessing already, so, but we do our best, and we can't control the weather. So number 6, Pete, Deputy Highway Superintendent's retirement. His official retirement date is January 23rd, so he was nice enough to bless us at our meeting today, his last meeting. I was gonna make him do it in my place, but I didn't want him to do
Throw
that.
under the wolves.
Yep, one last
Yeah.
hooray.
One last meeting, huh?
Yeah.
So, thanks for coming. Thanks for everything you've done
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
for over all the years. It's a long time.
He's shy of 34 years service.
Wow.
Years.
Not a bad day in the mix.
Oh, you're making me blush. So we'd like to thank Pete for his service and all he's done for our department throughout the years. And, he will be missed. So number 7, town board resolutions are just what we talked about, the purchase of parks equipment and the roadside mower for the highway department. And I will try to get the remainder of that paperwork at as soon as possible so that the resolutions can be done.
And then can you clarify which quote is for which location, parks versus
The
highway?
2 that you have
Those are
are both parks.
Both parks,
Yep.
okay. We're still waiting on
is
highway.
the one, yeah.
Okay.
That's the big guy.
We don't have yet.
We don't have that quote yet,
Very good.
but we will. For his open discussion, just things going on. Parks guys will be taking down the Christmas decorations here today. We're gonna take advantage of the mild weather for the day and try to get them put away before they get soaking wet and frozen in again, so. I know some are sorry to see the season go, but that we have, you know, some things that I'm working with Kara to finish up with the Phil Steck grant for, Aqueduct,
Got a couple of those rolling through.
Mohawk River Park there, and then, discussions with you yesterday. I'll get together, me and Andrew get together, with Phil
Yes,
and,
get a plan. I don't,
get a plan.
I know he wants to move so quickly and I keep trying to
He
say, I'm
does,
so
but
sorry, we would
our
move quicker, but that's not how it works.
I
Like,
mean, we
I know.
had Mohawk Park,
took forever.
and it does take some time, and unfortunately, I think what we're finding a lot is that when we get a quote, most quotes are only good for 30 days. And we can't get through our purchasing policy within 30 days. So as we get in quotes now, we're asking for maybe an extension or will it stay good?
Yeah.
But there's so much uncertainty now. Things just seem to go up in price like monthly. So that's why it's important to, once you get these, to execute them and move very fastly. So, Bill obviously is not familiar with our purchasing policy, so I know he did a pretty good list of
Okay.
things to do. So what we're gonna have to sit down with him and talk about is this price range requires this many quotes, and then he'll do the homework. He's very motivated.
Give him a plan.
So
Yeah.
I think if we explain the process in which we have to go and give him that guidance, he will excel in it. So we'll try to get that going as well. So,
The other piece of that is he's also waiting. We talked last meeting about the potential lease of the transfer station area because they would be taking over concessions
Yeah.
for baseball in the spring. So of course they want to make sure that that's all set up.
Yeah.
So I've been working with the new deputy attorney and making sure we go through that process correctly. So I don't know that it'll be ready for this meeting, but I anticipate February we'll at least we'll know what we're supposed to be doing. And I think it has to go out to bid so you can give other people the opportunity to bid on the same type of lease. So it would be opened up to the public for at least a period of time. So we're just making sure that we're doing that correctly so that we can get it done in time for the spring.
all right. Anybody have anything else for highway or parks?
I have two weird things.
Look at the time.
They're not terrible, I promise. So Phil Steck's office reached out to give us a heads up on a grant program through Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. It's a $1 million grant, but it's a 10% match, so it'd be $900,000. It's pretty open-ended. I had been pushing really hard about our town pool because it's just not in great shape. It hasn't been for years. And I think, we really haven't come up with a solid plan about whether or not we would move it or redo it or whatever. We do have plans that date back to like 2016. The concept dates back to 2016. We actually had some money left over at the end of the year, and they developed a plan to put the town pool over at Blatnick Park and some open space that was part of that 2016 plan. Since we have the plans, it's a really tight turnaround, February 9th. I would like to use those plans to apply for the grant. It's probably like a shot in the dark, but I feel like we'll just keep doing it and keep pushing and see what we can make out of it. It won't cover the full cost, but I do have some other local resources that may be able to supplement. But I say that because we may need a resolution for this month in order to approve the board to apply for the grant. So just so you know what it is, I can circulate the link so you can take a look at the details. There's not a lot of hoops to jump through, so it should be an easy application, especially since we have the plans. But I'll send that all around to you. If you see it on the agenda, that's what it is. It's just approving the application for it.
So that wasn't just a plan and discussion. I think we should identify that was the master plan, the comprehensive master plan. So
Parks plan,
it's very detailed.
it was never approved by the board. That's why it's like this weird thing that sits out there. It exists.
But it's a very good guideline. There was a
great
lot
guideline.
of thought put in that.
And so like, why not use those concepts since they already exist
Yeah.
and they've been discussed,
There-
even if it wasn't.
Right, talking about this.
Yeah, there was a lot of work put in that, and a lot of the things that have come up between 2016, we've used that as a guideline. We may not have gone, but we knew that somewhere along the line that was kind of a path
And what
forward.
we did was we took some of those concepts and in the comprehensive plan integrated them into that. So it's sort of like a more broad view of that parks plan, but in the
So we
comprehensive.
are using that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more than just somebody's idea. That was a
was a
very
lot.
thought
It
out,
was huge.
good plan. For sure.
I remember that board meeting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who knows, but I'm just gonna keep.
So
throwing spaghetti at the
I
wall.
think if you are applying for that, the strength is in that document. That's a very, very well-written document.
My only concern is that we have the match, so I just want to make sure that I have approval.
10% match.
It's only 10%. Pretty good.
I'd go with them odds.
Yeah, right? So, okay, everyone's cool with that? If it's
Oh,
on?
absolutely.
Awesome. The other weird thing I have, so the windstorm a few weeks ago, I actually lost power for like 3 days at my house because my backyard is one of those backyards where National Grid can't really get back there because it's old trees and brush and it's a pain in the butt. This sparked this whole conversation about, they apparently a pole went down. I didn't even realize it was a pole. I thought it was just a line. They had trouble getting in touch. I assume this is because, does Matt usually had done the underground?
Locations,
Yeah,
utilities,
yeah.
for the town or
Yeah.
just in general?
Whoever National Grid would contact at the town. I thought they would have just called UCC, but they said they had trouble getting in touch. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, who'd you call?
Well, they do
So-
gas and others, electric, stuff like that.
Well,
but
would have
the
been
town
water
has
and
to
sewer?
locate the sewers.
So
and
when-
It's water and sewer.
When
then,
you
right?
call in a UFPO, which is an outside service that locates everything, they get an alert, water and sewer does.
So I wonder if that went
or
to Matt.
Utilities do, UFPO alert, and everybody that has to, do their utilities is notified.
Yeah, so
It's-
that's what we needed to update. I just wanted to make
Mm.
sure that I did, like, you guys didn't need to be, there's a new guy that's doing like government relations and I'm reaching out to him because I didn't have power for like 3 days. I'm like, can you help me at all? It's the weekend. Like it was terrible. So, that's one piece of it. So I think it's probably Matt because that was the changeover and contacts. So I covered that piece. He came back to me a couple days later, this contact, and National Grid is interested in coming in and talking with us about a gas regulator station that they are saying is necessary to build in Niskuna. I'll bring this up in Laura's committee meeting as well. I don't know what this is. They said they would be happy to come in as a team and explain the reasoning behind it and what it's for and all of this, but
Where they want to do this.
they didn't mention. But they gave me some dates. I'm wondering who we should have included in that meeting. I mean, like, I would assume, Laura's because of the planning piece of it, but I'm just thinking,
And
and Dan.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one, but
It is a
like,
weird
what
one.
do you want to do? Then I was like, that's why this guy's helping me out because he wants to.
Same guy
That's
from
right.
Cornelius.
They're really nice guys. That
I
thing
warned
is
you
great.
against that.
I know. Okay, so I'll say we'll do Dan, Ray, Laura. Is there anyone else? I'm guessing Elena. That's probably it, right? And you, yeah. Okay. Okay, so they're throwing out dates. I'll just put them out in an email and just let me know what works best. Okay, that's it. That's all I had.
all right, you got off pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, December event recap. Our tree lighting was held on Friday, December 12th from 5 to 7. The Niskuna Choir provided the entertainment. Hot chocolate and coffee was donated by Seven Brew. Thank you, Courtney, for getting that secured. They served it and donated it, so it was a huge hit. This year we had Santa Claus here.
How much was that Santa? He was so good. That's it?
Yes.
He was like the best Santa
He was
ever.
amazing. He gave the magic to the lights because the lights are having an issue going on. He was doing pictures. He was
So
so
great.
engaging. He was beyond.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever met a better, and he like fit the part.
He even he had like a light up car.
Yeah,
and
he was just amazing.
He
And
really-
he just
he was
literally
great.
made the whole event. So thank you, Courtney, because we took it from a really nice event to a great event. So, and once again, thanks to the highway department for our tree. It was another beauty and it's gonna be,
You better give Parks the credit. They got your
thank
tree.
you, Parks. Thank you for your planet this spring.
I don't want to be a credit stealer.
Much
And it
appreciated.
smells nice too, right?
Yeah,
The
no,
citrus.
It's beautiful.
It's a nice tree.
And do we know like where all these trees, I know they go in the parks, but like, do you have a list of where they have been planted? By any chance?
Yeah, where's this one going?
Okay, I'm just curious.
In the parks.
I know, okay.
No.
It would be kind of cute to put a plaque like this was the Christmas tree.
I know, history, but I think it'd be neat. The following night was Parents' Night Out, and that was from 6 to 9. We had 22 registrants, and the max was 24. This was a free event. Their registration was just a toy for Toys for Tots, and they did arts and crafts, and they watched Alvin and the Chipmunks, and it was another great night. Come their jammies, great night. Thanks to my very own. This is our 5th year working with this organization, and I can tell you it was the busiest ever, almost too busy. I mean, it's sad what's out there that people really had nothing, but we were able to help them bridge the gap. We received 1,400 tags. A lot of them were from other organizations who just could not get rid of them. So they would come to us. 900 tags were emailed, 910 were emailed out, and 233 were taken from our tree downstairs. So all in all, we helped 1,100 people, and it was a wonderful, hectic season.
I wonder if we should recruit for a volunteer to help you with that next year since it's so big.
This year was probably, it maxed me out mentally and physically. It was
a lot.
literally, I was, working on weekend. It's just because I wanted to get it done and didn't want to disappoint anybody, but we have to come up with I don't want to leave them high and dry because what the need that we serve, I think is so important and makes us better people for
Yeah.
doing it.
I
And
have a couple people who offered to help.
that
So
would be because it literally probably maxed me out
Yeah.
and mentally more than anything. And it took me a while to recover. My Christmas was not great this year, but it was worth it for this. So yay to us and all the people that when I had to send out a bunch of SOSs because the deadline would be on Friday and it was Wednesday. And the number of people, give me 2 texts. Every time I sent out an email, a resident would come back and take 2 or 3. And I was always able to get rid of them.
Did see a lot of people down at the tree.
It was awesome.
downstairs.
It's just amazing, but because it hasn't been an easy year for people. So yay to us. Toys for Tots. Believe it or not, we started off very slow. This was our best year ever. We filled 7+ boxes and received donations after he picked them up. So we were able to give them to the Niskayuna Fire Department to give to those kids. So I think that's awesome too. So everybody was taking care of this holiday season. Festival of Breeze. This was our first annual event, and I want to thank Edie and Courtney for picking up and running with something that I have been thinking about for a very long time. It's been on my bucket list, and thank you. I appreciate it. But if you saw the wreaths that were up upstairs and downstairs, we had 13 total participants. The winner was Arts for Vets. And next year, I know they've already started working on it. I think it's going to be even better to get it in the boardroom. And I will say, received a lot of like, oh, this is great. Like even residents who were coming in and looking at the wreaths just added a nice touch in the lobby.
I loved it.
I'm thrilled.
Beautification.
It was great. Pardon me?
It's a nice beautification project.
It really was. So pretty. Did I miss something? Yeah, and then we did a cooking decorating class with Kelly down in the boardroom. She had 30 participants. I took the class, so I can tell you she's amazing, and it was a blast. We're doing another one in January because I think she and I have finally got the rhythm on how this works, and I need to thank Kevin for helping me get the AV set up. Now we've got it down to a science, and for Charlie for moving the tables and the chairs and making it perfect and putting it back the next day. It was awesome. It's a great program.
We'll be expecting some cookies out of you.
That's payment.
You didn't get
$5 a cookie.
I
Right.
did, but they're gone.
You'll get more. Yeah, oh my gosh, I know. For January events, we have West Mountain Ski Club, which starts this Friday. It runs until February 13th. Parent chaperones are always welcome, and please contact Julie Lore. She's looking for chaperones, and you get a free lift ticket. So she's looking for help. As I said, another cookie decorating class will be on the 22nd downstairs from 6 to 8:30 in the boardroom. Adult Tai Chi started on January 6th and runs through March. And that's from 6 to 7 at the community center. And chess instruction starts on January 12th. And that's for children ages 4+. And that's run by Dr. Richard Chu. And it's a wonderful program. And as far as resolutions, I've got a bunch. In 2026 rec leaders, and those are the people that do events at the community center, and the kid that runs men's basketball. Then I also have independent contractors, and those are for all of our winter programs. And senior program instructors, those are the ones that do the exercise and art. And then creation of a parks advisory committee.
Mhm.
I actually start their meeting next week with me to go over the three that are helping us, which is Corey, the new deputy supervisor, Jason Moskowitz, and then I have she's actually the wife of one of our officers. He's actually been deployed, but she's offered to help us. And I wanted to mention this when Linda was here, to create a 501c3 that's separate from the town, which gives us a lot more flexibility in raising money and doing like fundraisers
Yeah.
and things for the senior center, for the programming that is a little bit trickier for us to like, we can take the money in, but we can't really ask for it.
Right, exactly.
So that should be really helpful. I'm super excited for that
I
too.
am too.
I think it's going to be wonderful.
And I do have something from the floor. We had discussed about possibly leasing out the concession at the pool.
Oh,
Gloria has done a lot of work, and she reached out to Bethlehem. Bethlehem, they do one. That's how they do theirs. They sent her a copy of their what do you call it? RFP. So I think it's a nice solution.
I think it's a great solution because it still can be youth employment, just not through us.
Just
Absolutely.
gonna ask about that, because that is a big thing for the youth employment, right?
Yeah.
It's like two
Yes.
people, right?
Well, there's like 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they rotate.
So, I mean, we are also, they could be, but they're 14. You know what I mean? They could also be lifeguards when they're 15. I just think it could be a little tighter. And I think by having somebody like they used to, when the forensics used to run it, they do the purchasing, they do everything. So it would take a lot off our plate.
Mhm.
So it's just something to think about.
We don't make any money off of it either, right?
No,
I
we
know.
don't. I mean, we
No, I know.
try.
lose a
Well, the-
Yeah.
It's really the youth employment thing.
It is. And then
Youth
we could
employment.
probably find other ways to employ these kids. Maybe bump up our youth employment so they can start like raking leaves and things that they could be doing. So,
Mhm.
so I wanted to let you know that that started.
Internships are great.
I love that somebody else is doing
Internships.
it. We can copy.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this group that we belong to have a wealth of information. They're just you shoot something out there and everybody's got an opinion and they've been very
That's
helpful.
great.
And so it's awesome.
I'm going to add the one more for the grant application too. I don't know what that would be under parks or whatever, but just to make sure that we have, it's on the radar. Yeah. We can copy one. I think there's a DEC grant resolution. We could copy the language on. Got it.
Do parks and community programs, because it affects both.
Yeah, it really does.
And
I don't
that's
know what
what
to be
it's
under.
based on, what you
Okay.
said, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a parks and rec grant. so
Yeah. And actually,
do
yeah,
both.
the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. And I say that because I meant to mention this earlier. We will have 2 new committee members, Rita, who's on the phone right now. And we'll be talking with her more about the 250th anniversary this year, the Declaration of Independence. Hopefully we'll have some programming around that. But I think it's interesting that we were thinking about that way. And then the New York State, that's already how they have it set up when in their grouping. So maybe we'll find some cool grants and things that we can do through there. And the other one is Tree Council, just so that we can have a little bit more communication about our plan for trees, what's possible. We talk a lot about capacity in here, and I think it's important that we set realistic expectations of what we can do with our paid employees and what we would need to rely on for volunteers outside of there. So I envision that as being more of a summary that they send in through parks, but it's a switch over from them being on economic development. So 2 new committee members. Ta-da! Rita, are you there?
Rita?
You've already. Are you still there?
Probably.
Oh, are you on? Maybe you're on mute.
Okay, yes, I'm here.
Hi.
Okay, hi.
Hi, Rita.
Hi.
So I was just introducing you as our new committee member in here. We were talking through some possibilities for programming. I thought maybe you might want to come in at some point over the next few weeks and we could talk through the kinds of things that they're encouraging at the state and the federal level for the 250th.
Yes, because I'm working at the county level
Oh, great.
on this. So, right, and I'm working on multiple education. All right, so I'm doing a lot of recruiting for people and, gaining trying to connect different programs with the county level. Okay, because the resources are coming in slow, but they're coming in. And they're also looking for a group. It could be the seniors or children to create cards like Uno cards.
Oh,
Design, okay, with their favorite famous, revolutionary actor, and possibly like narratives, but that, design will be their own.
well, do you want to, let's set up some time that we could either do a Google Meet or if you end up coming in here for something else, we could also like attach that meeting to it, but maybe we could get community programs and us together and just kind of develop a plan so we don't, just so we know what we're doing and we don't let anything fall through the cracks.
Yeah, because it's basically the county. That's why I contact schools, but individually going to the schools that throughout the whole county, that's something that we don't naturally do unless somebody responds, and then we'll see who's interested and we guide them along, or and give them whatever resources we have available. Okay. Also, one thing I was thinking about when we were mentioning the seniors. Okay, and I just want to put this out there. The seniors, and I know some of them. Okay, we this is our second, more likely, event. Okay, they lived through the bicentennial, and they're also now living 50 years later to experience, the 250th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if they were able to have like a once a month, have a story, someone tell their experiences and, how this means for them. Because, I mean, you're actually living to see another anniversary. And that really is important to people, especially when they're older.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea. So maybe we got to loop Linda in then. She was here at the beginning of the meeting, but I didn't have you on speaker at the time. She runs the senior center.
Okay, but just let me know when you guys, when you guys have time to have a meeting. Okay, I'll come down. I mean, with the snow and everything in mind, it's, to get there, it was difficult this morning. But I mean, if we can have one like during the day sometime, I can definitely meet up with you guys. And, I need to have like 24-hour period where I can arrange transportation.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe we could even meet down at the senior center. Give us a reason to go over there anyway. So we'll reach out to Linda and see what works for her. And then, we can obviously talk amongst ourselves and we'll reach out with a couple dates for you and then we can figure it out.
All right, then. And thank you so much for participating because, we don't want this year to miss out on something that is going to pick up steam as the months go by leading up to July.
Yeah, so true. All right, great. Then we have a way forward for that. Did you have anything else you wanted to share?
Basically, that was it. I just wanted to make sure that we tie into the county, and whatever resources that it needed, whatever the committee decides, I can at least take it back to them because it's good for the county committee because this way they'll understand exactly what path they need to take to satisfy what this unit's needs as well as everyone else's.
Who are you working with at the county? Is it a committee or an individual?
No, it's committee.
Which one?
It's it's run through the Schenectady County Historical Society.
Okay.
And the Daughters of the Revolution.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes, and we're under the Schenectady County Revolution 250 Commission. So this is something that, it all ties into the state, and I've also met with the state historian a few times, to see, we talked about grants and, putting in a budget that will meet the needs of localities. So that's another discussion that we had last year.
Okay, well, let's come up with an agenda, which I think we'll be figuring out what we want to do and what resources we need, and then we can ask the county see what they have.
Yes, because I've been also checking, and a lot of things have not really hit the floors yet. So we're waiting to see what happens, but we're also at the same time, the feedback is important, to have from entities that are interested, and not only that, certain localities have their own special interests, and then these are things that can be planned, like for Ms. Yuna, and with the community committee, whatever the community committee comes up with, we can support that.
Okay, well, good. We'll keep the conversation rolling. Hopefully we'll have some good ideas by February, March, and time for getting it together for July.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rita. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So do we have anything else for?
Could fill a cabinet for 250, and it'd be great to have like
We should
a
start
banner,
it.
an American banner,
Yeah.
250.
I was thinking it might be
Get a
kind of
grant for
cool to
that.
do like what Niskuna looked like at the time. Like what was here, right?
Arms.
Exactly. Okay.
All right, anybody have anything else? Nothing else. Our next meeting's on February 5th, 8 a.m. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second,
I don't know who made the motion, but I'll do the second.
we're adjourned. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Clarifications.
Sorry.
Two grants, the grant for DEC park stuff.